parents packed a backpack and asked me to deliver it to my younger brother. I stopped at a gas station and opened it, only to find a strange object inside. Shocked, I rushed to the nearest police station. The officer went pale and asked, "Where did this come from?" My heart nearly stopped. "I'm Claire Bennett, a cybersecurity analyst in Denver. I make a living noticing what other people miss. The extra login at 3:12 a.m., the invoice that doesn't belong, the accident that happens right after someone asks questions. I'm supposed to be paranoid for work. At home, my family has always called it dramatic. In our house, drama was reserved for Dylan. He's my younger brother, the soft spot everyone protected. If I got good grades, it was expected. If Dylan remembered to pay a bill, my mom acted like he'd cured cancer. My dad's love came with instructions. My mom's love came with guilt. Mine came with responsibilities. So when my phone rang that morning, I answered before I was fully awake. "Claire," my mom said, and the panic in her voice felt rehearsed, like she'd practiced it in the mirror. "It's Dylan. He's been in an accident in New Mexico. He's in the hospital. Your father and I are driving there right now." I sat up so fast my neck cracked. "Is he alive?" "Yes, he's stable," she said too quickly. "But he's alone. He needs his things. We packed a backpack for him. It's by the door. Please take it and bring it to the hospital." "Text me the hospital," I said. "Put a nurse on the phone." "I can't," she snapped. Then she softened, the way she always did right before she asked me to carry something heavy. "Honey, please, just do this. For your brother." I heard my dad in the background, low and impatient, like an engine idling. "And Claire," my mom added, "don't open the backpack. Just take it straight there." I paused. "Why would I open it?" A beat. Then a small, brittle laugh. "Because you always have to check. Just don't." She hung up. I drove to their place like the city owed me a favor. The porch light was on. The front door was unlocked. That should have bothered me more, but fear makes you stupid in specific ways. The backpack sat on the entry bench, black canvas, a handwritten tag with Dylan's name on it. It looked normal. It felt wrong. Too heavy for clothes. Dense. Deliberate. My phone buzzed. "Please, hurry," my mom texted. "He's asking for you." That line hit like a hook under my ribs. Dylan asking for me. Dylan, who rarely asked for anything unless it came with an excuse. I threw the backpack in the passenger seat and started south. An hour later, still in Colorado, I called the hospital number my mom texted. Automated menu, patient lookup. I typed Dylan's name. No record found. I tried again. Same answer. I called my mom. Straight to voicemail. I called my dad. The call rang out. My hands tightened on the wheel until my knuckles ached. I told myself it was a clerical glitch. I told myself triage wasn't in the system yet. I told myself anything except the truth my job trained me to see. When details don't match, someone wants you looking the wrong way. And the only detail my mom cared about was the backpack staying closed. So I stopped at a gas station just past the border, wind slamming into my car like it was angry at me too. I sat there with the backpack in my lap, staring at the zipper like it was a line I'd cross and never come back from. "Just clothes," I whispered. I opened it. On top was a folded sweatshirt. Relief flashed, quick and stupid. Then I lifted it and the air left my lungs. A metal device rectangular, with bundled wires and a small blinking indicator light. Not a toy. Not a phone charger. Something built to do one job and do it silently. I didn't touch it again. I zipped the backpack like it was radioactive. My brain ran scenarios the way it always does. Traffic stop, search, handcuffs, my face on the news under words like suspect. I saw my life breaking in public. I drove to the nearest police station because I needed authority between me and whatever my parents had just handed me. Inside, fluorescent lights buzzed and the air smelled like disinfectant and old coffee. A uniformed officer looked up as I stepped to the desk with the backpack on the counter. "I need help," I said. "I found something in this." "What kind of something?" he asked, half bored. "Metal, wires, a blinking light." His expression changed fast. He didn't touch the backpack. His skin drained, like he'd seen this movie and hated the ending. "Where did this come from?" he asked. My heart nearly stopped. "My parents," I said. "They packed it. They told me to deliver it to my brother in the hospital." He pressed a button under the desk. Voices got lower. A door clicked shut somewhere. Another officer appeared and guided me away from the lobby like I was made of glass. In a small interview room, I waited while the backpack was taken, carefully, like it might explode if someone breathed wrong. My hands shook so hard I had to sit on them. A man in plain clothes came in with a badge that flashed and vanished. "Federal." The way he said my name meant he already knew more than I did. "Claire Bennett," he said. "Tell me exactly what happened." I told him. The call. The accident. The backpack, the instruction not to open it, the hospital not finding Dylan. When I finished, he leaned back and studied me like I was evidence. "What you found isn't a bomb," he said. I didn't relax. "Then what is it?" "A component used in remote drone control systems," he said. "Devices like it have been tied to recent attacks on energy infrastructure, substations, remote facilities, disruptions." My mouth went dry. "So, I was carrying terrorist equipment." "You were carrying something that would look exactly like that," he corrected. "And there are increased patrols along certain routes. If you'd continued, there's a chance you would have been stopped, searched, arrested." The word arrested landed like a weight on my chest. He watched my face carefully. "Someone tried to set you up." I stared at the table, at the scratches in the laminate, like they were a map. "Why me?" "You're credible," he said. "Professional. Clean record. The kind of person people wouldn't suspect until it's too late." I laughed once, sharp and ugly. "My own parents." He didn't flinch. "We're investigating your parents for financial crimes," he said. "An investment fund they participated in collapsed. It was a pyramid scheme. The audit uncovered money laundering. Transfers tied to people we're also investigating for infrastructure sabotage." The room felt too bright. I thought of my mom bragging last fall about finally making smart money. I thought of my dad's new watch. I thought of the way they'd suddenly stopped asking me for help because they thought they'd outgrown me. "They're in trouble," I said. "They're about to be," he replied. "And it appears they wanted the focus on you instead." A cold line ran through me, connecting everything. The unlocked door, the too heavy backpack, the fake hospital, the don't open it, the desperate urgency that wasn't about Dylan at all. "What about Dylan?" I asked, voice thin. "We contacted him," the agent said. I jerked my head up. "He's alive?" "He's fine," the agent said. "He's in Denver. He went to work. He had no idea." I sat back, stunned. Relief came first, then rage so clean it felt like clarity. "They used him," I whispered. "They used his name to pull me." "Yes." My phone buzzed again. A text from my mom. "Where are you? Did you get there? No. Are you safe?" "No. How's Dylan?" "Just the status of the package." I looked at the agent. "You want to catch them?" "We want to stop them," he said. "And we want to follow the chain." I swallowed. My voice came out steadier than I expected. "Tell me what to do." That night in a hotel room I didn't remember booking, I couldn't sleep. Adrenaline kept replaying the gas station moment like a glitching clip. So I did what I always do when I'm scared. I opened my laptop and went hunting. Not for comfort. For proof. My parents weren't careful online. They'd always treated the internet like a mailbox. Drop things in, walk away, assume no one looks. But high-yield funds leave trails. So do panic withdrawals. So do the kind of people who promise returns that sound like magic. By 2 a.m., I had their emails pulled up from old family threads. The opportunity, the glossy PDF, the calendar invite labeled investor call. I cross-checked domains, registration records, payment processors. The same names kept surfacing, like fingerprints. A shell company here, a consulting LLC there. Money flowing in circles until it didn't look like money anymore. When the agent came back in the morning, I slid my laptop across the table. "I'm not guessing," I told him. "This is where they put it. This is who they dealt with." He stared at the screen, then at me. "You did this overnight?" I shrugged, throat tight. "You said someone tried to set me up. I'm just showing you the hands that tied the rope." He didn't praise me. He didn't comfort me. He simply nodded once, like he'd just decided I was an ally, not a liability. That afternoon, my mom called again. I answered on speaker with an agent listening, my mouth tasting like metal. "Claire," she snapped, skipping any fake concern. "Where are you? The hospital is asking questions." "What hospital?" I asked, letting my voice wobble. "I can't even find Dylan on the system." Silence. Sharp. Dangerous. Then my dad's voice cut in, low and mean. "Stop being clever." "I'm not being clever," I said. "I'm being scared." My mom jumped back in, sweet as poison. "Honey, don't do this now. Just bring the backpack. If you love your brother, you'll stop making everything about you." There it was. The old lever. The one they always used. I swallowed hard and played the part. "I'm coming," I whispered. I'm shaking." "Good," my dad said, satisfied. "Then do what you're told." The call ended, and the agent beside me exhaled slowly. "That," he murmured, "was not the voice of parents worried about their son." "No," I said. "That was the voice of people worried about their alibi." Day 2 was pretending. The agents explained the plan. My parents needed to believe their bait still worked, so they'd show their hands. I would call my mom and say I was close. We'd meet where they told me to meet, at a hospital parking lot in New Mexico. They'd come to retrieve the backpack, probably to handle it before I got searched, then try to spin a story that made me the villain. I called my mom with an actor's calm I didn't know I had. "Mom," I said, letting my breath shake. "I'm almost there." Her relief came too fast. "Good. You have the backpack?" "Yes," I said. "It's in the car." "Don't talk to anyone," she snapped, then softened. "Just meet us, please. You're all we have." All we have. Another key phrase, another chain. I agreed, and the moment the call ended, my hands were steady. Not because I wasn't scared, because I finally understood the rules. Day 3, the lot was bright with hospital lights and exhaustion. People walked by with coffees, arguing softly, living normal lives inches from the edge of mine. I parked where the agents told me. The backpack wasn't with me anymore, but a decoy sat in the passenger seat, identical weight, identical shape. The point wasn't the device now. The point was my parents. Their car pulled in from the far entrance. My dad drove. My mom's head turned constantly, scanning. They parked 2 spaces away and got out fast. My mom crossed the distance like she was running to a dying child, but her eyes went straight to the passenger seat. "You have it?" she whispered. I lifted the backpack slightly. "Yes." My dad stepped closer, his jaw tight. "You didn't open it." It wasn't a question. It was a demand disguised as one. I forced my voice to tremble. "No, you told me not to." My mom exhaled in relief so intense it made me sick. "Good girl." I stared at her. "Where is Dylan?" Her face flickered just a glitch. "Inside. Tests. No visitors." My dad reached for the backpack. "Give it." I didn't let go immediately. "If he's hurt, why are you asking about this first?" My mom's smile tightened into something sharp. "Because we don't have time for your questions, Claire. Don't be difficult." My dad's voice dropped cold. "Hand it over." And there it was again. Control, not care. I took a breath. "He wasn't in the hospital system," I said softly. "I checked." My mom froze. My dad's eyes narrowed. "Claire," my mom hissed. "Stop." "You lied," I said. The words felt like stepping into open air. "He wasn't in an accident." My mom's gaze darted across the lot, searching for exits. My dad's hand hovered like he could still grab the backpack and run. Then the agents moved. They appeared from cars, from pillars, from the edges of the lot like the world had finally decided to balance itself. "Ma'am, sir," an agent said. "Federal agents, step away from the vehicle." My mom made a sound that wasn't language. "What is this, Claire?" My dad didn't speak. His face drained, the control leaking out of him like air from a tire. My mom's voice rose, bright and furious, loud enough to pull eyes from strangers. "This is insane. We didn't do anything. We were trying to protect the family." The sentence hit the air like a prayer and a threat. I looked at her and felt my voice sharpen into something clean. "You tried to destroy it." She stared at me like I'd slapped her. "After everything—" An agent turned her gently but firmly, hands behind her back. Handcuffs clicked. My mom jerked and twisted, still performing for an audience that didn't exist. My dad finally spoke, low and bitter. "You think you're so smart." I didn't smile. "I think I'm done." As they led them away, my mom twisted her head toward me, eyes wild. "I did it for you too. Do you know what happens if they take everything? We'd all be ruined." I watched her disappear into the back seat of a federal vehicle and realized something quiet and brutal. She truly believed my life was an acceptable expense. When the cars left and the lot returned to its normal noise, I stood there with my arms at my sides, empty hands in cold air. Later that night, I called Dylan. He answered irritated. "What's going on? Mom's not answering." I closed my eyes. "You weren't in an accident," I said. A pause. "No," he said slowly. "I'm fine. Why?" "Because they said you were," I replied. "They used your name." His voice sharpened. "Used it for what?" I stared at the dark window, my reflection looking older than this morning. "To try to make me carry something that would get me arrested." He went silent. Then softer. "They wouldn't." "They did," I said. "And if I hadn't opened the backpack, they would have succeeded." He breathed out, shaky. "What did you do?" "I didn't let them burn me to save themselves," I said. "That's all." In the days after, the case grew bigger than my family. It always was. That device was just a thread. Pull one, and the whole ugly fabric comes apart. People asked me if I felt guilty. Here's the truth. Guilt is what my parents trained into me like a reflex. But that reflex died somewhere between the blinking light at the gas station and my mom shouting, "Protect the family," while federal agents cuffed her. Protecting a family doesn't mean picking one child to sacrifice. It doesn't mean lying until the lie has teeth. It doesn't mean packing a backpack full of disaster and asking your daughter to deliver it with a smile. If there's a moral, it's this. The moment you realize you've been chosen as the fall guy, stop trying to be the good one. Be the living one.